I'm going to work, not pipeline work, not construction work. I'm going to work in the entertainment industry, and that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do, and I'm ready to work hard. I'm sure you'll see me around. I got a taste of it, and now that's all I want to do, and I'm loving it.
I'm Peter McCully. That's Cameron Whitcomb, who recently made it to the top 20 of American Idol. We'll talk about growing up in Nanaimo, living and working in Kamloops, and the experience of being on stage in front of millions when Today in BC continues.
From the latest community news to informative, entertaining reads for travelers and the cannabis curious, just visit your local Black Press Media community newspaper website to sign up today.
Thanks for making some time for us, Cameron. You've been pretty busy since you finished up on American Idol, and probably you're looking to have a little downtime before whatever next is next.
Actually, the opposite. I'm ready to go. I think I really got to go with this. Before things settle down, I really want to, jump at it. So I'm eager. I think I'm ready.
So you grew up in Nanaimo, your home visiting family, and the school you attended had, as you described, an amazing music program. So did that kind of get you started on your way?
Yeah, absolutely. So they just really gave me the freedom to do music. They gave me like a whole bunch of money to pick out a drum set for the school, which was really cool. And I owe that program to a lot of the reason I graduated. Yeah, it was amazing.
Okay, so you're a drummer.
I'm a drummer. Yeah, no, I've been playing since I was probably 10 or something. My parents had a little kit in the basement. I think the first thing I ever learned was On Holiday, that dum da da dum da da dum da, and just played that over and over until my mom's like, we got to get this kid some lessons because I can't listen to that anymore.
And so no interest in singing at that time? It was just basically the drum kit?
I always made noise. I wouldn't have called it singing. I really didn't find my voice until, probably the past year or two maybe. I always loved music. I just never really did too much with it.
So at some point, you leave Nanaimo and head to Kamloops and become like a motorcycle technician and working on pipeline?
Originally, I was the wash kid at Harley. So I moved out when I was 17 because I graduated early and I was ready to start life, really eager. And so I showed up at Harley. I was like, they made me the wash kid for a bit. And, I had half a brain. So they made me kind of the junior technician, a junior mechanic. To be a real Harley mechanic, it's been years and years doing that. So it kind of killed me when I said that. But yeah, I know my way around a motorcycle. So I just wanted to get to work. I've always worked really hard. So.
Well, the important question at this point would be, what kind of motorcycle are you driving?
I ride a 2010 Ultra Classic that I had bought off my uncle after I saved up a long time. I still have it. I love it. A lot of people give me crap. They're like, it's a geezer glide. Nah, I ride that thing everywhere.
It's a nice bike. And
I love it.
I'm a cruiser guy myself. So.
Oh, right on.
Not to get too far off track, for a kid who grew up in Nanaimo with not much musical background, you did remarkably well on the show. Did you audition for American Idol?
Canadians can't actually apply for the show. How it worked for me is that I would post videos of me singing. After work, I'd set up like karaoke and start singing. Someone found the videos and asked me if I wanted to be on the show. At first, I was like, yeah, nice try. No way. It's like, but
so
it was
you
real.
Didn't think it was real?
I didn't think it was real. All the messages I could have received on the internet, hey, you want to be on American Idol? Wasn't one of them, But yeah, it was real. And then bing, bang, boom. I'm in Texas and singing in front of Katy Perry. And man, I'd run it through my head sometimes. I'm like, holy, it's pretty crazy.
So you were called to audition for American Idol, which I understand was in Texas?
Yeah, the first audition was in Texas. And it was one of the most amazing things ever. So many amazing musicians. Like, I was watching musicians that had been doing it their entire life get turned away, right away. And so I thought I didn't have a chance, but I'm going to do the best I can. I actually had this conversation with this guy from Alabama. His name's Garrett. He's like, man, I promise you those judges are the same as us, man. They put their pants on the same way we do. And it just seemed like he was fearless. He wasn't worried. He's like, does not change anything what those judges think of me.
You've auditioned for American Idol. Is it at that point they give you the golden ticket?
Yeah, in Texas, I got the golden ticket. I think I had about 2 months in between my audition and Hollywood Week. And so I immediately went home because Katie basically told me, you have potential, but you're not quite there yet. I got a no from Lionel. It just seemed like I made it through by the skin of my teeth, right? And so I went home and actually learned how to sing with Sabrina Weeks in Kamloops. Amazing. Taught me everything.
So you had a crash course on stage and just singing in general.
Well, yeah, just singing, just learning how to sing, really, like taking care of my voice as well. I went from drinking black coffee to tea and honey every morning, you know what I mean? All the guys at work giving me crap, like, why are you drinking tea, man? I learned how to take care of myself, vocal warm-ups. I just became a lot better singer, a lot more confident.
So you had a couple of months off between the time that you get the golden ticket and you're heading to Hollywood. So is this where your video pops up of Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes?
I think that was after Hollywood Week. So I, the 3 rounds in Hollywood Week that I made it through, and then I had gotten home and started posting and whatnot. I originally heard that song TikTok, actually. It seemed like everybody was singing that song. It was just a good song.
That song was a hit when I was younger than you are. I remember playing it on, they had these things that you carried around with you called radios.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Edison Lighthouse. That was a great little tune.
And there's lots you can do with it, which I like. We'd end up messing around with the arrangements and whatnot.
American Idol took you to some places that I'm guessing you might not otherwise have had a chance to visit. I think I can kind of see your business card now. Cameron Whitcomb, singer, motorcycle technician, pipeline worker, Nanaimo, Kamloops, Texas, Los Angeles, Hawaii.
Works for you. Let's get those written out.
Those are some pretty amazing places to visit. Did you actually get time to look around when you were there?
Not Texas. I think we had a few hours in the evening, maybe. And it was really fast paced. So it's like boom, boom, boom. And lots of waiting, lots and lots of waiting. You had to bring your A game anytime they called you, and they could have called you at any time. So a little bit of stress going with that. But I managed to turn that stress into adrenaline. I was ready. Let me in there. Right.
So you're just sitting around the hotel waiting for a call?
No, not even the hotel. All of us contestants were all in the same room together. Okay. People often ask me, like, what was my favorite thing about the show? And I got to say the people. The people, 1,000%, you know what I mean? I consider a lot of these people family now that I met over the course of the show.
Was there one compliment that you might have received from one of the judges that kind of grabbed onto him?
It's difficult sometimes to take compliments. I just do the best I can. So when people are pumping my tires, like, it definitely gives a confidence. Any sort of compliment like that, it builds me up.
So tell us about the audition itself. I know the judges were excited because, as they said, their singing voice is much different from your speaking voice, and that you'd never sung in front of people before, which is a big deal. Take us through the process, the day.
The day of my audition was late in the day. You could see outside, it was all dark. So I had all day to sit around nerved up. By the time it got to that point, I was just ready. I just wanted in there. I think the nerves just turned into like adrenaline. There's videos of me outside of the audition room just bouncing, climbing the walls. I think that almost helped, actually, the fact that it was so late in the day. But the waiting was definitely difficult.
So when you passed the audition, you did a backflip. And you also did one after several performances. So where did the backflip come from?
My little brother, when we were probably 8 and 10, he could do them. And anything your little brother does, you obviously have to know how to do. And so I just remember doing them until I quit hurting myself. And I just never stopped. So I've probably done a backflip every day for the past 9 years.
So you weren't worried about falling?
Never. Like, and people
not making it on stage.
No way. No. People tell my friends, they're like, oh, he's going to mess up one of these days. He's not going to land that backflip. And I promise you, I will never not land a backflip. I've done them too much. If I ever landed one, I wouldn't know what to do because I'd probably have to retire.
That could be your first album cover.
Me doing a backflip? Is it overdone yet, though? Is it overdone? Have I done it too much, man? Like, I love the backflip. People love the backflip. It's entertaining, and now I think it's time to get serious. Or maybe learn a front flip. Who knows?
When Today in BC continues, Cameron Whitcomb talks about the Idol tattoo, new friends, and what's next.
Why spend hours searching dealerships, comparing makes and models? Find the best of BC's inventory in one place, todaysdrive.com. You'll have access to inventory across BC, where you can easily find a vehicle that fits your needs and gets you where you need to go in comfort. Get in the driver's seat. Don't miss out on the many options we have available for you. Powered by Black Press Media, todaysdrive.com connects you with exclusive new and used car deals.
I'm Peter McCully. Today in BC is a Black Press Media podcast. Cameron, tell me the story about your brother and the tattoo.
My brother, Sheldon, absolute nutcase. It kind of runs in the family. I had just made it through genre round in Hollywood Week. He's like, well, if you make it top 24, I'll get the American Idol logo tattooed on my butt. I'm like, okay, yeah, right on. Sure thing. Yeah.
You did say butt.
I said butt. And I probably wouldn't have held him to it. But then I made top 24. And then before going to Hawaii, he sent me a photo of that tattoo halfway done. I was like, oh my God. But it was huge. Like, took 6 hours. That's not even really, like, it's close to my signature, but it's not even, because he did my signature.
So you didn't actually sign it?
No, I don't think he would have let me.
But didn't you say you were going to get a tattoo as well?
If I made top 10. Never made top 10, unfortunately. And all of us, top 20, we were all talking about it. We wanted to get the number 20 tattooed on us. Just, 20th season of American Idol, top 20. And I love tattoos.
What surprised you the most about how the show goes together? Everything behind the scenes. That's a real eye-opener for somebody who probably has never been on a soundstage before.
It all was new to me. It all surprised me. It was all just amazing. I loved every bit of it. There's just tons of waiting and tons of prep. And the farther I made it, the more I got catered to. You know what I mean? Which I loved. The whole thing was amazing. Seeing the judges in person for the first time, or any time I'd seen them, they don't look like real people. They look like just the most pristine version of a human being there could possibly be. You know what I mean? They're so done up and just perfection mode all the time. It's crazy.
So, Cameron, did you make any forever friends while you were in the competition?
Every single person in that top 24, I can say that I'll be friends with them for the rest of my life. The worst part about leaving the show, getting cut, was not seeing them every day. You know what I mean? That's the worst part. Yeah, I'm going to miss them lots. The thing about it, the whole show, is that those people know exactly what you're going through, and nobody else will know ever what you're going through. You know what I mean? You trauma bond. It's like, seriously, you're under the most stress you've ever been in your life, and those people are there giving you a hand. And that helps more than anything with the show.
Having been around music a long, long time, it was a bit of an eye-opener for me to see the range of artists and the songs that you performed while you were on the show. I really need to know where Bob Dylan came from, Waylon Jennings, the CCR tune, Black Sabbath, the Steel Drivers. Where did they come from? Where did they figure somewhere in your life?
My grandma, she used to have a cabin on Great Central Lake in Port Alberni. It was a float cabin. A lot of the music that I found was probably through my grandparents. Also my mom, my brothers. I got 5 brothers. And they'd always show me tunes. It seemed like growing up, I'd go through like phases of what I'd listen to. When I was a kid, I'd strictly listen to Michael Jackson, or Bob Marley or something. I'm really open to hearing what other people listen to. I just really love finding new music. That's where a lot of it came from. My grandma will send me songs. And I think my mom picked out the song I was singing in Hawaii. I was singing Bad Moon Rising by CCR. A lot of guidance from the vocal coaches that they had set me up with. They'd been suggesting songs, and if it hadn't been for Love Song, I wanted to tell a story. Stand there with my hand in my pocket, make a slow stroll across the stage. I really loved that performance. That was my favorite one.
Never would have hitchhiked to Birmingham if it hadn't been for love. Never would have caught a train to Louisiana if it hadn't been for love. Never would have run through the blinding rain without $1 to my name if it hadn't been for love. Never would have seen the trouble that I'm in if it hadn't been for love. Would have been gone like the wayward wind if it hadn't been for love. Nobody knows it better than me. I wouldn't be wishing I was free if it hadn't been for love. 4 cold walls against my will. At least I know she's lying still. 4 cold walls without parole. Lord have mercy on my soul. If it hadn't been for love, 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 if it hadn't been, if it hadn't been, if it hadn't been for love, never would have seen the truth that I mean if it hadn't been for love, if it hadn't been for love.
So, Cameron, what have you learned in this experience that you'd want to pass along?
Put yourself out there. Like, I'd never in a million years thought I'd be doing what I'm doing. And it's just changed my life more than anything in the world. And if you have that thing, just really go with it, because you never know. Just do you, and then be yourself. You know, as corny as that sounds, it's really what you have to do. The authentic part of yourself is what they want, right? They don't want a gimmick. They just want you.
What's next for Cameron Whitcomb?
I'm going to work, not pipeline work, not construction work. I'm going to work in the entertainment industry, and that's where I want to be. That's what I want to do, and I'm ready to work hard. I'm sure you'll see me around. I got a taste of it, and now that's all I want to do.
Thanks to Cameron Whitcomb for joining us on this edition of Today in BC. If you have suggestions or comments, send a voice message to podcast@blackpress.ca. You may be part of our podcast mailbag segment. You'll find Today in BC podcasts on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, iHeart, and Google Podcasts.